We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Jose Abreu, Avisail Garcia, Alexa Ramirez in the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, and the first place Detroit Tigers. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrell. Since we get set to bring you the first of the 6-game homestand, we'll have 3 with these guys, finish it off with 3 against Cincinnati. So the Sox coming off what turned out to be a 5-game road trip. It was supposed to be 7. We had 2 cancellations in Baltimore. And in all my years with the White Sox, it's probably the worst 5 games I've ever seen them play on the road. But that was then. Tonight is now. We had an off day. And Jeff Samardzija on the bump.
Jeff looking for a redeemer because last time out against Baltimore, he got ambushed early. It started with Chris Davis in the first inning. He had a 3-run homer that made it 4-0. They went on to take a 6-0 lead, and unfortunately for Jeff, Baltimore was never headed. But against Detroit, he threw the ball exceptionally well. He didn't have his slider that day. That's been a problem this year, but he used the fastball. He changed speeds, and he held a very potent offense down. And as you can see, this is the matchup. Shane Green, pitcher acquired from the New York Yankees. He's a sinker baller. He went 7 against our Sox, gave up just a run on 5 hits. Jeff Samardzija against Detroit was absolutely brilliant. Gave up 8 hits in 8 innings, gave up only 1 earned run, and didn't walk anybody. So hopefully more the same tonight as this team has put that road trip behind them. They look to turn it around tonight.
Well, we have a hot hitter going for us, and they certainly have one going for them.
Their hot hitter is always hot. Our hot hitter, Avisail Garcia, is doing a pretty good job of it in his 9-game hitting streak. As you see, Avi hitting .417 over the 9 games. On base percentage of .432. He scored 5 runs. He shortened his stroke. He's taking a lot back through the middle. Eventually, he is going to hit for power. Right now, he's content to double up the gap in right center and drop in base hits. Miguel Cabrera always does a terrific job against everybody, and there's his 6th home run. He's driven in 19. This is a guy in the middle that continually gets the job done. With Victor Martinez hurting, Miggy's not getting a whole lot of protection, but he doesn't need any. As you can see, 3rd in batting average. He's 2nd in on-base percentage, 4th in slugging percentage. Average on the road, he's number 1 in the league. And so you're dealing with a big boy in the middle that you can't allow to beat you, and hopefully that'll be the case tonight.
Funny thing about it is the last time we saw him, he was really not swinging about that well, even though he got some hits. But now he's ironed out his swing, and he is one of the greatest hitters of all time. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
You in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Audi. Truth in engineering. Xfinity. Your home for the most live sports. And by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. It's 53 degrees at game time. A little humid here today, although the weatherman promises that we're not going to see any rain this evening. And if there even is a possibility, it'll be very intermittent and not very heavy. So let's take a look at how Brad Ausmus is going to line up his Tigers for the game tonight. Anthony Gose to lead it off, then Ian Kinsler in the 2 spot, Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, Yoenis Cespedes, who's been red hot, Alex Avila, Nick Castellanos, and Andrew Romine rounded out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Jeff Samardzija, Melky Cabrera, Adam Eaton back in the lineup after his illness, Abasil Garcia, the red hot Garcia in right field. Then it's Gillespie, Ramirez, Johnson, and Abreu in the infield. Giovanni Soto gets a nod behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Jeff Samardzija on for his 6th start. He's 1-2. ERA a bit higher than he would like, but only 6 walks and 22 strikeouts in those 32 innings. The umpires for the game tonight, Field and Culbreth, the crew chief behind the plate. Jim Reynolds at first, Manny Gonzalez at second, and Paul Schreiber is at third. The Tigers come in first place. They lead by a half game over Kansas City. They're 17-9. They've won 2 games in a row. They go on the road where they've had more success than at home this year. They are 9-4 on the road as you look at Brad Ausmus, the second-year skipper of this Tiger team, and he's got a good one. They worried a bit about starting pitching, but really hasn't come into effect very much this year. So they've thrown the ball around the infield, which means we're ready to play baseball and kick off a homestand, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Steve, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. First of this 3-game set and this 6-game homestand. Anthony Gose, 24-year-old center fielder, will lead it off. First pitch is blooped into left field, so real good speed aboard.
Gose came over from Toronto, and he fills a huge gap in center field. He's pretty much platooning at that position. Rajay Davis is the man he platoons with, and he gets one up in the strike zone. That's one of the things Jeff's been doing, giving up way too many balls hit to the outfield. For a guy who throws a good splitter and the occasional sinker, he's looking to throw more grounders.
So here's Ian Kinsler. There he goes. And that's into center field. Back him up. So the base hit, the stolen base, the error.
It looked for a moment like Gose didn't pick up the throw. The throw is well wide on the first base side of second. Then Gose finally does find it. And he's off to third base. So we'll see what Robin wants to do. This is a very potent offense, and he's going to concede the run to stay out of the big inning as everybody in the infield is back.
So here's a good RBI man. He can handle a bat. Ian Kinsler comes in at 284. No homers, but he's driven in 11. He has faced Samardzija 4 times, and he's 0 for 4. There's a breaking ball that's hit into left field. So it's 1-0 quickly.
It's been one of the big problems with Jeff to this point. He hasn't been able to harness that slider. And it really doesn't matter if it's down a couple of miles an hour if you put it in a good spot. This was not a good spot. As you look at Menard's pitch tracks, you'll see where the 3 appears. It's pretty much over the middle of the plate. And Kinsler drives home run number 12. He's yet to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but they don't look for him to do that.
Well, he's also going to steal a base here, or try to. He's 5 for 6 in that category. And when you get a little something going like the Tigers have against a club that's really struggling right now, you want to put as much pressure on as you can.
This team has been aggressive this year. 25 stolen bases. They've been caught just 9 times. And they're going to take advantage of what the opposition gives them. And in the case of Brad Ausmus, who was a very aggressive player, he's got himself a very aggressive team.
Cabrera, 366. Takes a strike. As I mentioned at the top, even though he got some hits against us in that series in Detroit, he was just something, his swing was not there. Wouldn't hit it the way he has some pitches to hit that he normally just absolutely kills. But now he is hurting the baseball.
And he's using a lot of right center field. And the longer they wait not to run Kinsler, more opportunities for a double play. He's hit into 5 of them this year. As Jeff goes over there to try to hold him close. You would think with the numbers this year on Sox throwing out would-be base stealers, that a whole lot of teams would be putting as much pressure as they can with their running game.
He's got a decent lead there. No, he fakes it. Doesn't go, and a pitch just off the plate. Long set. And he takes a strike. 1-2 the count. Right at the bottom of the zone.
Soto will look over in the dugout to see if Mark Parent would perhaps like a pitch out here. Not a bad pitch to run. Looks like he's going to throw to first.
Outfield shaded slightly to the right. Nice gap out there in left center. All right, here it is. Take your time, boys. 2 down.
We talked about the longer they waited without running Kinsler, the more likely the opportunity. And Cabrera gets into a 6th double play. He hasn't had the healthiest legs over the last couple of years, and he's really taken it easy down to first base. They can ill afford to lose him for any length of time. They'll give up the double play.
Well, he's moving around better now than when we saw him in Detroit, so evidently he's feeling better. I was watching him take batting practice. As here is Victor. That ball into right center field. And that'll do it, but a base hit by Ghost, a stolen base, and error by Soto. Base hit by Kinsler. It's 1-0 Tigers.
Adam Eaton back in the lineup with Melky Cabrera, who's always done well against the Tigers, and it's Jose Abreu, Adam LaRoche, Avisail Garcia, Connor Gillespie, Alexi Ramirez, Giovanni Soto, and Micah Johnson rounding it out. The defense, and another lineup behind Shane Green. It's Cespedes, Ghost, and Martinez in the outfield with Castellanos, Romine, Kinsler, and Cabrera in the infield. Alex Avila's behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Shane Green. Acquired from the New York Yankees, he's 3-1, his ERA a little above 4.5. So he hasn't baffled a lot of hitters, but he does keep the ball down. Left-handers have hurt him to a .314 batting average. And when he's right, he's going to get about 2/3 of his outs on ground balls.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as Adam Eaton. Adam off to a slow start offensively. Takes first pitch strike from the 26-year-old, 6'4", 210-pound right-hander out of Claremont, Florida, just north of Orlando. Here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. That's a fair ball. That's going to go for at least 2, and he's going to go for 3. Now he pulls up. Woo! He could have made it. But he leads it off with a double.
It looks like Cabrera thought this one was foul. It's a sinker. It's down the middle.
Looked like it could have hit the back of the bag.
It did hit the bag. Hits the top of the bag, just flattens out and goes right into the corner. And I agree with you. I think he probably could have gone all the way to third. But with nobody out, not wanting to make the first out at third, he stays right there.
So here's Cabrera, Melky, hitting at .287. Takes the bunt, takes the ball. Sox come in hitting at .242 as a club. Detroit hitting at .278. Sox with a 4.56 team ERA. Tigers with a 3.95.
I think the one surprising thing about the Tigers this year, they're second in the league in defense. You don't find many Tiger teams that have those kind of numbers.
Well, Iglesias and Ghost.
Well, they're missing a great Iglesias, at least for the moment. He's got a groin problem, and that's one of the reasons why Romine is playing shortstop. But Iglesias has been outstanding at short.
He's a wonderful shortstop.
They certainly miss his glove. He can go get him in the hole at a quick release. Romine's a good utility player, but Iglesias is one of the elite defenders in baseball.
Now, Cabrera, if he can get to it, he'll make the play. He's got terrific hands. That's a ball. Kinsler's Kinsler. He's one of the better second basemen in the game. We talked about Iglesias. Castellanos is getting better at third. Cespedes is an improvement of what they had in left field. Ghost is a vast improvement in anything. He's the best. He's a better center fielder than Austin Jackson was.
He's really good and very fast.
J.D. Martinez, they tell us, is catching the ball better out there and right. So, yeah, they're a better defensive team now than they've been in a few years. But they still can't cover the last 9 outs.
Nobody has made more than 2 errors. But the pen, well, they've got Soria, who's got 10 saves, and he's been a revelation since Joe Nathan went down, but getting to him has been problematic.
He's been covering the last 3, but as you mentioned,
it's getting him
those previous 6.
Yeah.
So there's the base on balls. And with 2 on, nobody out, let's check out our picks to click tonight. And you are directing the crew, and with Adam. He's going to LaRoche and J.J. Shearer and all the great folks at Ditka's. And now we're going to go with Melky Cabrera, who's at first base. So here's Abreu, hitting at .267, 5 homers. He's driven in 15. That all-speed pitch hangs way inside.
Not the kind of numbers you'd associate with Jose, but he's going to get a whole lot better.
That's up the middle and into center field. So here comes Adam. He's going to score. And this game is tied at 1 on the RBI single by Abreu. Melky into third.
There is a microcosm of exactly what they missed without Iglesias, because he's going to make this play. I don't know if he can turn it into 2, but he's going to stop this, and certainly a run will not score. That being said, it's not Iglesias, it's Romine, and it hits off the glove, trickles into center field, and it goes his RBI number 16.
Well, with Iglesias, you're going to have 1 out and men on first and third.
The break is he's not going to be playing for a bit.
So here's LaRoche, Adam. Hitting a .211, 3 homers. He's driven in 9. Takes that pitch down low, right at the bottom.
If Green doesn't get that pitch from Field and Culbreth, he could be in some problems, because that ball had a piece of the zone, and sometimes umpires won't call the ball down. If that's going to be the strike zone, well, then the hitters are going to have to adjust, as are the pitchers.
I pop up to short. That's not going to get the job done. So 1 out, and that'll bring up Avi.
Here's Jeff, who got out of that first inning. He gave up a couple of hits and then got the double play and the fly ball to get out and limit the damage to just 1 run. His teammates have come back and quickly tied it at 1.
Avi has faced Green 5 times, and he's drawn the collar. He takes low ball 1. Last year when we saw Green with the Yankees, he had a really good slider. This year he's been doing it with a sinker, so if that's the case, and when you're going over him in the pregame meeting, you say make him get the ball up.
Most likely another slider here. And there it was. Most unusual, because last time out, Green threw sliders just 20% of the time. In the early going here, he's thrown his slider just about 50% of the time.
Meanwhile, we could have got more. We didn't. We got 1, and it's tied at 1. CSNChicago.com, or Dan Hayes. And Dan, what you got for us?
Well, Hawk, a baseball source said that after tonight's game, starting tomorrow, Jeff Samardzija would drop his appeal and start serving his suspension immediately. There is no plans right now, as Chris Sale, the word has not come out yet on that. But earlier today, Rick Hahn said that the White Sox had a pretty good idea on how they would handle this. And right now, likely, that would make Carlos Rodon start at some point on this homestand against the Cincinnati Reds. They begin a 3-game series Friday. That's not official yet. The White Sox have TBA listed for pitchers all 3 days. But Rodon, of course, pitched 63 pitches on Saturday against the Minnesota Twins. And he said he feels like he can go anywhere between 90 and 100 pitches at this point. He's thrown 87 in his 2 starts at AAA, but feels ready to go whenever the team asks him. He said, I'm ready to go out and do whatever they ask me to do for a win.
1-1 to count to Martinez. JD hitting at 246 homers. He's driven in 15 and get off to a good start with these guys. As that ball hit high and deep to right field, but we got a man there right at the edge of the track. Well, they've got to try to do something, obviously, because when you're going in bad in baseball, I mean, you're going to lose 5 in a row. It might not be the last time we lose 5 in a row, but the way we lost 5 in a row is what was a little vulgar about that road trip.
Rick Hahn was pretty disappointed today, and so was Robin Ventura. Both of them said this offense isn't playing the way we want to. The pitching staff, they don't expect their guys to have 5+ ERAs, and they said, you know, little things are magnified when this is going on. Of course, the base running is not what they expect, and the defense is not what they expect, but they also think that if everything else was going as planned, it wouldn't be so brutal.
Well, when you're going bad like that, then everything is symptomatic of you don't make the plays. It's not so much the errors, which the errors did hurt us in a couple of games, especially that one in Baltimore. They scored 6 runs in the first inning, shouldn't have had any if the double play is turned. But the point being is that you got in this game, you don't get any breaks. Nobody gives you anything, and you got to go out and you got to make your own breaks, and that's where you got to dig down deep, and that's what I'm sure they're telling these players.
Well, they definitely. There's a lot of dissension. The White Sox have basically said we need to step up here. We don't like what's going on. It's from players, management. Robin Ventura talked about that today, basically saying this needs to turn around. Enough is enough, and so you know there's a group-wide voice on this. Everybody realizes they are accountable. I think Rick Hahn said it. He understands why fans are upset, and he said, hey, look, we as a team are taking this, and this is for all of us to step it up, and you know, no one person should be accountable for this.
Well, the fans are no more upset than Robin and the coaching staff, than the players, than you are, than I am, than Steve. I mean, everybody is upset because of the fact is he gone. Cespedes, his first strikeout. But usually, as a rule, when you go into a funk like we were in, it takes good defense. Now we saw that in Minnesota with the way that the corners, Maurer and Plouffe, caught everything that was hit, and then Torrey Hunter saved that one ball game for him with a brilliant catch out there in right field. So that usually is what brings you out. But we have not been playing, and we have a good defensive ball club.
Well, Rick Hahn said it's kind of funny how a week ago, if you talked to the White Sox, they would have felt like they were coming off their best series of the year. We're starting to get it together, and all of a sudden a week turns it around like this, and it goes from where they're 8-9 and on the cusp of 500 to 8-14, and they're hopeful that they can get back to what they were a week ago and be back where they were a game under 500 as they head on the road next week.
Dan Hayes, thanks a lot, buddy. Dan Hayes from CSNChicago.com. As 2 out here, Alex Avila with a 2-0 count.
Avila's been hitting the ball more to left center field. That's where he was hitting it when he was hitting very well. Not off to a good start, but they're trying to get him to at least think about left center. And they have a drastic shift on him. As you can see, he's been pulling just about everything on the ground, yet the outfield is playing him maybe a half a step to pull. Most of the outfield is pretty much straight away.
Two-one pitch. That's high into left field. Melky giving chase at the fence, jumps.
Hit the glove and went out of the ballpark.
And it's out of here. So it's a 2-1 Tiger lead, opposite field home run.
That's exactly what they've been trying to get Avila to do. Unfortunately, Melky had a shot at that, but it bounced right off the glove and bounced out of the park. His second home run of the year. He's now driven in 8, and we'll watch it again. What little wind there is aided this ball. In the middle of the glove, and then when the contact with the wall occurred, it bounced out and over.
Castellanos.
Looked like he had saved a home run, but not to be.
We were just talking about that. When we're going good, that ball is caught.
Yes.
1-1 to count. Castellanos hitting at .227, a couple of homers. He's driven in 8. Broken bat.
That goes E6. Jeff got the ground ball he wanted. Good fastball at 95. Castellanos doesn't have much speed. That ball took a high hop, hit off the heel of the glove, and Ramirez cannot make the play. So that's error number 4 for Alexei.
And here's Andrew Romine, 29-year-old all-purpose infielder. And they got him. Nice play by Micah. Nice stretch by Alexei, but the opposite field home run. And now they're going to appeal this. So we will stay right here as Brad Ausmus says no.
He kept his foot on the bag, so come on off the field. And we'll start again. So we'll step out and be back after these messages.
A while in St. Paul. Flip over to Comcast Sportsnet for locker room reaction, highlights, and more on Blackhawks Postgame Live, presented by Hawk Ford. All postseason long, after every game, right here on CSN Chicago.
Go Hawks. Another big game to win. Watch play at second base once again. Mike arranging far to his right. The throw is off target, but Alexei, acting like a first baseman, has the ball and has the bag. That's one of the reasons why Brad Ausmus waved off any type of replay.
So it's 2-1 Tigers here in the bottom of the second. Gillespie takes ball one. Outfield with a shift on him in the infield and well around to the left in the outfield. That's right back through the middle.
Join us for Selfie Sunday on May 10th from 10:15 to 10:45. The first 500 fans to purchase this special ticket offer can take selfies with select players on the warning track, weather permitting. Visit whitesox.com/Selfie Sunday for tickets and more information.
Here's Alexei. Alexei hitting at 205, no homers. He's driven in 9. Big gap out there in right center. Boy, they're playing. Ghost is really playing shallow.
He's got supreme confidence that he can go get anything, but Alexei can hit the ball a long way, especially to left center field. And if Ghost can run that down, it's going to have to be in the air a lot longer than Alexei normally does.
Well, you show me a center fielder that plays that shallow, and I'll show you one that knows he can go back and get it. Want to know the count? Blocked nicely by Alex. And count 2-0. As we were talking earlier, Dan Hayes, usually it's defense that will bring a team out of a slump. But in our case, I think it's going to have to be the offense. I think they're going to have to get something started and get some continuation hitting going on. We've been having, not a whole bunch, but we've been having a few men on third, less than 2-out situations that just have not scored.
Well, there's no doubt that when you're last in the league in runs scored, second last in on-base percentage, you're putting a lot of pressure on the other aspects of the game because you're just not scoring. You score a few, it takes a lot of the pressure off.
That's why there has to be a balance, because if you're not playing real good defense, which we're not, that puts more pressure on your offense.
Robin, I'm sure just very happy to be off the road. Things have not gone well away from U.S. Cellular Field. Conversely, the team has played pretty well at home. 2-11 on the road, 6-3 here at U.S. Cellular Field.
Short lead by Gillespie. Real short.
What you'd like to do here if you're Connor Gillespie is, you know you got a sinker baller on the mound. He's going to throw his share of ground balls, which means a good secondary lead might get you to second base to take a piece of the pivot man and stop a double play if Alexei does ground this ball to the left side. But there's plenty of room between Castellanos, who's guarding the line, and Romine, who's playing straightaway shortstop.
Lays off that pitch. Payoff pitch coming up with nobody out and 1 on. Connor was off. Foul ball.
Green actually was pretty good last year with the Yankees. He was 5-4. That was his first stint in the major leagues. 14 starts, an ERA of 3.78. He came over in a three-way deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Yankees, with Didi Gregorius going to the Yankees, Robbie Ray, the major player, going to the Diamondbacks, and Shane Green, who's off to a great start, coming to Detroit.
Well, in that 4-game series we had in Minneapolis, we hit into 9 double plays. There's a strike him out and a throw. There's another double play.
That throw was right on the money from Alex Avila. So Green went to the slider, keeps it down and away, and Avila does a nice job of backhanding it, getting rid of it, and putting it right on the money.
So we played an inning and 2/3 here tonight and hit into 2 double plays. Or not hit into one and run into another.
That makes our ball club this year 4 of 12 in stolen base attempts.
Slider strike. Soto at 138, a homer. He's driven in 3. Castellanos, the long peg. So we get the leadoff man on once again and can't do anything with it.
Later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Top of the 3rd inning, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for them. 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 errors for us. We have now committed 19 errors. Tigers have 10.
Another factor that's plaguing the ball club, for some reason they've stopped hitting the ball out of the ballpark. It's been an 8-game homerless drought. Last time that happened was way back in 2010. So this team's used to hitting the ball out of the park, just not doing it.
1-1 to count. Anthony Gose, who hit the first pitch of the ball game into left field for a base hit, stole second, went third on a throwing error, and scored.
I think he's going to say it hit off his foot. I don't know how Jim Reynolds is making the call, but apparently he is. So Ghost will have another life.
The ball did not hit his foot, I don't think.
If it didn't, it's a terrific acting job.
Well, gone are the days again of umpires. So wait a minute, let me see that ball.
Yep, it's true.
Let me see that ball. If it hit him, it's going to be some shoe polish on it.
The price for Ghost was awfully high. Devin Travis was the man that went to Toronto. And what a start he's off to.
He gone. Foul tipped, hung on two.
Talking about Travis, who's a second baseman. Well, they've got a pretty good one in Ian Kinsler. So he became available. He's in second place in runs scored with 20. He's also had 7 home runs. So in this, his rookie year, Travis is doing everything he can to help that Toronto ball club. But the Tigers are very happy with Ghost.
Pretty good pitch, didn't get it. We talked in Detroit about Jim Price, longtime broadcaster for the Tigers and former Tiger catcher. Here's a slider strike. He said in all his career, he's never seen 2 better throwing arms than they have. Cespedes in left and Ghost in center. Alexei. So Kinsler, who had that RBI single, is retired.
That's more like it. The last 5 hitters have not had the ball out of the infield. Strikeout. 3 ground balls. Another strikeout. So things for Jeff starting to look a little bit better.
Looks at that pitch down low, does Cabrera, who hit into a 4-6-3 double play.
Apparently in their series,
Slider strike.
Their series against Kansas City, Cabrera had one of the classic at-bats against one of the hardest throwers around, Kelvin Herrera. It was a 10-pitch at-bat as he kept on throwing 99. He kept on fouling him off, finally struck him out with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball with the bases loaded. At the time, his team was up 4-1. Cabrera could have done something about it. He battled, and Herrera won the battle.
You know, this guy you're looking at right there is one of the great hitters of all time.
When you get a hitter as good as Cabrera, and he comes up with nobody on base, a veteran pitcher doesn't want to show him his whole card. You don't want to show him where you're going to go when you're in big trouble and he comes up. Because if he knows where you're going to go, you've got some problems later on.
Can't get it. Full count.
Most of the teams that pitch against Cabrera, when they have to get him out, they'll throw up and in.
Well, we talked about having fun at the plate, having fun playing baseball and having fun at the plate. Nobody smiles more than Miguel Cabrera at home plate.
I think if you and I hit that way, we'd be smiling all the time.
He has fun hitting.
He does. It's fun doing everything.
He has fun playing the game of baseball. That's one reason I just love to watch this man play. He plays hard. He can't run. That's the only thing he can do. He's got terrific hands. He's got tremendous power everywhere. And he has fun doing it. That's high, Avi. Makes the catch, and that's a nice 1-2-3 inning for Samardzija. For a big home match with Real at Salt Lake. Real Salt Lake. Coverage begins at 1:30 on Comcast Sports. 2-1 Detroit here in the bottom of the third. For us, it'll be Micah Johnson and back to the top of the order with Adam Eaton.
If Micah wants to bunt, a good idea would be to drag it because Cabrera is back at first. Castellanos, conversely, is well in on the grass at third.
Well, Kensler's way back at second. Now that brought Cabrera in, but still he can bunt that way because Miguel just doesn't move that well. Just get it by the pitcher towards Kensler and you get yourself a base hit. Huge gap out there in right center. Down and in. 2-2.
Detroit just coming off a series. They split with Kansas City. If you're going to split, it's best to do it the way the Tigers did. They lost the first two and won the last two of the series.
Green. And they don't get it.
Cabrera had to wait. He had to wait for Green to get over. I don't think he realized, and I'm not sure how many guys do realize just how fast Micah Johnson is. So Green doesn't get there in time. Good call by Jim Reynolds. And it is a base hit. Cabrera doing everything he can do. But Green, a little tardy.
So for the third straight inning, we had the leadoff man aboard. As here's Eaton. He led off with a double right off the bag at first base. Adam takes first pitch strike. And Adam scored on a single by Abreu.
Talked many times about the table setters, and if Adam Eaton gets on, whether it be leading off an inning or perhaps with one out, he's going to score a lot of runs. He has not been getting on, but that double in the first inning allowed Abreu to drive him home.
Pitch out, 0-0.
Time now for the AT&T U-verse multi-view. You got the center field camera taking a look in at Alex Avila as he hangs the signs. Darryl Boston talking it over with Micah Johnson and Cabrera in your picture at first.
Like that double by Eaton leading off the bottom of the fourth was his first leadoff hit of the year.
It's a good sign coming back from an illness that's sweeping the ball club.
It hit 8 or 9 of our guys. There's a lot of wheezing and coughing on the bus and the plane. But that's not the reason we were 0-5.
No, it certainly is not.
Now Avila wants to go out and have a little confab. First of 3 with these guys, first of 6 at home. We'll finish it off with 3 against Cincinnati.
Usually what happens, and Green called out Avila, Alex is going to look over in the dugout, and he's going to find out if they want Green to use a slide step. Because if he goes into his regular delivery with a high kick, you're not going to be able to throw out Micah if he tries to go.
Well, it's amazing how pitchers have to be told everything. It's absolutely
true.
Amazing. I should say, let me restate that, how most pitchers have to be told everything. There he goes. Pitch is fouled back. You just got a man who beat you to the bag. You know he can run. And he wants to know if he should sidestep. That's high. Full count.
And now he's going to be going, and if Green has held back his best move, this would probably be a good time to use it at first. Melke in the on-deck circle. Waiting to see what happens with nobody out.
There he goes. Ball. Good play by Kinsler. So him being on the move takes a base hit away from Adam Eaton. Beautiful play by Kinsler as they almost turned their third double play of this ball game.
Unfortunately, this ground ball took him to the third base side of second, or he would have had a shot at tagging second base. Makes the play in back of the bag and no thought of second base as he flips it over. So the tying run in scoring position with only one out.
Now, as good as Kinsler is, in my opinion, he's still under the radar to a lot of people.
He is defensively.
He is a terrific player and always has been, and a big 7th, 8th, and 9th inning hitter.
That trade was a trade of necessity that worked out very well for the Tigers. They got Kinsler from the Rangers. They sent over Prince Fielder. There was a bit of a disparity, certainly in length of contract and the amount of money being played, but trading Prince allowed them to shift Cabrera from third to first, where he's going to hold up a lot better physically, and it gives them an everyday second baseman who can really do it.
That breaking ball, slap foul.
On the other side of the equation, Fielder, who had neck surgery last year and pretty much for him a useless year, has come back and started to hit the baseball.
One out, 1-1 to count. Big gap in right center. Anthony Ghost in center field is playing like Dwayne Wise used to play for us. Shallow. That's about where Dwayne Wise was when Gabe Kapler hit that ball off Mark Burley, and he got back to that fence and made the catch.
That and the fact that Wise had just come into the game defensively in the 9th inning was a testament to how good an outfielder he was. There is the exact place where the catch happened, and a pretty good defensive replacement at the perfect time.
There's the strike, so the count goes full. Kapler hit that ball, my heart just sunk. And that's yank foul. Also, fans, if you've been to the ballpark this season, you may have seen White Sox staff wearing number 9 pins in memory of Minnie Minoso. You can get yours by going to WhiteSox.com/auction. All those proceeds benefit White Sox charities. That's ball 4 so far the second time Melky draws a walk. Now we have 2 on and 1 out.
Mother's Day is this weekend, and the White Sox have dedicated Saturday, May 9th as Mother-Son Night. In addition to specially priced tickets and parade passes, the first 10,000 ladies ages 14 and up will receive a Mother's Day tote. A good-looking tote it is. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/mom.
Here's Abreu, who had an RBI single in the first, picking up his 16th ribby. Takes ball 1.
Michael looked around and checked exactly where the outfielders were. He realized that Gose is playing a few steps into right center field, and that Cespedes is off the line and pretty much straight away left.
Took a little some off that breaking ball, misses, and now he's got the catbird seat, 2-0. Attaboy. Lays off that one. And 3-0. Turn him loose. Three-0 pitch. And that will load him up.
Jeff Jones is taking the long, slow walk to the mound. His pitcher, Shane Green, has had excellent control this year. He had only 7 walks in his 5 starts. But the control has been a problem in the early going. He's walked 3 with only 1 out here in the 3rd. And he's got some problems.
Here's Adam. He popped up to short. Ghost now backs up a couple steps. And he takes down low ball 1.
Great speed at 3rd. He's going to tag up on just about any fly ball. Decent speed at 2nd.
Well, he won't tag up on anything short and left.
No, probably not short and center either. And that just missed him. So the control has eluded Green, something that hasn't happened this year, but it's a good time to take advantage of it as he tries another slider. And LaRoche able to get out of the way.
So 2-0 the count. He's got the catbird seat. He's the one that's in trouble. Three and 0.
Good thing about this situation, if he does throw one in the zone, the Tigers are not able to shift as drastically as they normally do. So Alex Wilson starts throwing in the pen, trying to get ready in a hurry.
There was one that just caught the outside edge of the outside corner.
That one was probably stolen by Alex Avila as he eased it back into the zone. As you can see, it went Green's way.
And that's ball 4. This game is tied at 2. Back-to-back-to-back walks. So he got a lot of problems this inning caused by himself. Late getting to first and then walking 3.
Take a look at where this one pops up. The one thing about Fielding Culbreth tonight, he's been consistent. He is not giving the low pitch. That one touched the strike zone, but he hasn't called that pitch all night. No reason to call it there. RBI number 10 for Adam.
And here is Javi. Javi hit into a 6-4-3 double play, but that's not the story. That ball was absolutely murdered. It was torched. That one's not. They can't turn it. So we take the lead as Melky scores in his 3-2 Sox.
RBI number 7 for Avi. Shatters his bat. And because he broke the bat, it slowed the ball down. No chance on the return.
Don't stop now, boys. As here is Gillespie. He singled right back through the middle, leading off last inning. Takes low and away, ball 1. Big hole on that left side. Big hole on that right side. Pretty big hole in right center. A lot of room between Martinez and that right field line. And there's a base hit. That's going to score a pair as here comes Avi. He's rounding third. McEwing waving him around on the triple by Connor Gillespie. It's 5-2 Sox.
Connor came in with 4 driven in. He now has 6 with his 2 hits. They were playing him a couple of steps as an off-field hitter, but when you throw sliders, you're going to be able to pull that ball, and there was nobody home in right center field. Connor does pull it, and that is going to drive Green from the mound.
Well, when you walk 3 guys in an inning, you shouldn't get scored on. And he did, and he has, and he'll depart, and we'll be back.
came over from the Red Sox along with Yoenis Cespedes in that deal that sent Rick Porcello to the Red Sox. On for the 4th time. He came up from Toledo. And there you see the numbers. He inherits Connor Gillespie at third base and a 3-run deficit.
Don't stop now, boys. As here's Alexei. He struck out his first trip and takes a slider strike. This inning all started with that infield single by Micah Johnson when he beat Shane Green to the mound to first base.
Green very unhappy with this performance. It wasn't that he was battered. It's that he walked 3 men in a row, and that opened the door for a huge inning.
Well, not getting that out at first base didn't hurt.
Nope.
Got him. But a crooked number goes up on that board. We'll go the 4th. It is 5-2 White Sox.
Off to the best start of his career. He's 5-0 for the first time. He passed Johan Santana for the most career strikeouts by a Venezuelan-born pitcher. He's knocking at the door of 2,000 career strikeouts. All he's done is had a 1.73 ERA in his 6 starts, and he's averaging over a strikeout per inning pitch. What a year it's been for a guy who's got a renewed offense behind him. But if Felix doesn't pitch, Seattle has really struggled.
Victor Martinez fly to center field. Two and 0 the count.
Victor's yet to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's got a bad knee. It especially bothers him hitting from the left side. And right now he's trying to shake off the effects of it as Jeff made him move his feet. Watch him in batting practice, and he would take a swing and just kind of pull up that knee, giving him all kinds of difficulties. Now Brad Osmus wants to have a word with him. That's been a continuing problem because he's a devastating hitter who's just not doing much, and if you don't have a solid foundation to hit on, I don't believe you're going to hit very well.
In my entire baseball career, he has been one of the best clutch hitters I've ever seen.
Yes. Well, Jeff makes him move his feet, and by doing that, he puts a lot more pressure on that knee. And you see him hopping out of there.
Well, he wants to play, just like Cabrera. They got two guys that absolutely. We've seen Cabrera playing on two bad ankles. We've seen Victor Martinez get out there with bad knees and playing. There's the strike and the count. 2-1.
Doesn't near bother him as much as a right-hand hitter. But of course, that's not how he will hit against Samardzija.
He's a .313 career hitter with runners in scoring position. And that's just a fly ball. Normally, there's a good chance that ball right there might leave the park. But it's out number one here.
You know, in a few ways, pitching and hitting are very similar. And that is, if you don't have solid legs, if you're having a knee problem, an ankle problem, whatever it is, you're not going to be able to use your legs or get them in the swing. Right now, he's swinging all arms, and it's not all that effective.
Well, if you don't use your legs, you can't get your upper body into position.
When you see him hitting fly balls, and normally there would be something on, a little more carry, obviously, but now, no carry.
Out in front of that one is J.D. Martinez, who went out to his counterpart, Garcia.
J.D. has been struggling a lot lately, and they're trying to get him to hit the ball as much to right center field. He's got some big power that way. He hit the ball to right field, leading off the second.
Yeah, if you don't get your legs take your body into position to make the swing. And if your legs are bad, or they're hurting you, or you're sore, or they're not strong, or you're not in shape, it does not do anything for your upper body.
No, the history of baseball is littered with pitchers who have come up with a knee or a leg problem, and in the not too distant future they wind up with an arm problem because they can't put near as much behind each and every throw. Puts an inordinate amount of strain on his arm, and they get hurt that way.
2-2 pitch. Yes, he did. He gone. 2 down.
This is indicative of falling into a slump. Swinging pitches way out of the zone. He can't check his swing. Field and Culbreth said, yes, indeed, you did. And then wisely, Soto doesn't bother making the throw. He knows that he's between Martinez and the bag. So he puts on a tag and an out.
Here's Cespedes. Yoenis struck out his first trip. Big man now with 3 punch outs as he takes ball 1.
Cespedes says his batting average has started to climb, and he came in at .310. Is hitting the ball to right center field for one of the few times in his career. And speculation is that he's watching Cabrera do it on a daily basis.
Well, there's not a better offensive lineup in the league than this one.
This one's pretty stout.
It's best in the American League and owned by the National League. And I would say over there with a pitcher in that lineup, this is probably the best offensive lineup in baseball.
Well, this year they're also running more than they've ever run before. Probably because of that man, Brad Ausmus. The fact that they also have some speed burners in this lineup.
Just a little down. 2-1 to count. Took something off. So 3-1 with 2 down. That's a Gary Sheffield foul ball there. Full count.
That ball was inside off the plate, and he yanked it into the upper deck, but well foul.
And the payoff. So that is the first walk issue by Jeff. 2 out. And here's what Alex did his first trip.
Just his second home run of the year, and he took it to the opposite field. Something they've been trying to get him to do. Hits off Melky's glove and bounces out of the yard.
Cespedes. Has good speed. As he goes through that one. Top of the zone. Tough for him to get up on that one. 0-1 to count. Right to Micah, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. We lead at 5-2.
TV on May 7th at U.S. Cellular Field. Prior to the game versus the Tigers, WGN-TV meteorologist Tom Skilling will host a program which focuses on the weather. It's going to include experiments and a video presentation. So for more information and to purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/WGN.
Soto, Johnson, and back to the top of the order with Adam Eaton. Alex Wilson, 28-year-old right-hander, lives in Hurricane, West Virginia. There's a base hit and the hole. Nice piece of woodwork right there, going right with the pitch. And here's Micah. He started off that 4-run third with a base hit. Really beat Shane Green to the bag.
This is a slider on the outside corner. Instead of trying to pull it and grounding out to the left side, Gio just goes right with it, and he winds up aboard.
Takes first pitch strike. Castellanos right at the cut of the grass at third. fakes the bunt, takes the ball. 1-1. And here's what started off that 4-run third inning.
We've seen a whole lot of this recently, and that is pitchers not getting over near as fast as the speed burners down the line. And Green didn't get there. It opened the door, of course, along with the 3 walks for a big 4-run inning, and it chased him.
Well, we've seen it from the opposition, and we've seen it from our guys. High pop-up, Kinsler.
Strange part about that is from the day spring training starts, you have pitchers fielding practice. PFP. They do it every day. They hit ground balls to the right side, and everybody yells, "Get over." And you do it. You do it repeatedly. And then for some reason, there are times when it just doesn't carry over. When the pitcher is late getting the bag, and you become your own worst enemy.
Well, in my recollection, sometimes there's a one hopper right to Cabrera, makes a perfect throw, perfect return. And that is the third double play turn by the Tigers. And we're into the 5th, leading 5-2.
You got to have good hands. You have to have supreme confidence. You're going to throw it on the money and then hustle back to the bag and get a good relay throw. Romine right there. He avoids Soto and gets a very fast man on a 3-6-3. Fine play by Cabrera and Romine on the other end.
Castellanos. Free space on an arrow by Alexi. Actually, that ball took a bad hop, came up and hit Alexi in the heel.
Castellanos with only a couple of errors this year. Actually, just one of them. A radical departure from last year. He was a -30 in runs saved. That was the worst in the league at third base. He's worked on it, righting his footwork, and things are a whole lot better these days.
That ball hit high and deep. But we got a man there.
That's the difference tonight between hitting it to right center and hitting it to left or left center. The wind is going to knock it down to right center. It's going to carry it to left and left center. Adam gets a good jump. Wind helping him as he drifts on the track and makes the catch.
Well, last year and the year before, and the year before that actually, but he wasn't there. Castellanos was playing next to the shortstop that they were having a lot of trouble with. So the left side of the Tiger infield was very porous. Everything in baseball is contagious. All of a sudden, you put an Iglesias out there, and he's going to make you work harder at third to become better. And they tell me, Jimmy Price told me that it's amazing how much better Castellanos has got. Plus, I've been watching him. I watched him in the series. He's got his behind down more now. He's making more plays. It's hard to play in the major leagues at first or third, being a stand-up first baseman or a stand-up third baseman. It's just too fast. The game is just too fast.
Well, another factor, if you have anybody who's playing shortstop, and last year with Iglesias out with a couple of stress fractures, they had a revolving door at short. And so many times Castellanos didn't know exactly the range of who was going to be there or what they were going to do. This year, with Iglesias there, he can shade up the middle. You don't have to worry about the hole because he can get to the ball there. And it takes a whole lot of pressure off a third baseman if you're playing next to a great shortstop.
Well, another factor is the fact it makes you just work harder. That's the biggest one. It's that old saying, the harder and the more I practice, the luckier I get.
The luckier you get, indeed. Well, Jeff Samardzija is awfully happy to look up there and see 5 in the run column.
Well, lately, hadn't been too many of our pitchers able to look up
and see that
and see 5 even after the game is over.
No, and that's taking advantage of the 3 walks, but that's going to happen. And then you have to take advantage of there are only 2 hits in the inning, and they scored 4 times. So the offense today a whole lot better. Jeff Samardzija, after a rocky start in the first, actually threw the ball very well. That was a fly ball off the bat of Avila that drifted out of the ballpark. But after the first inning, things are starting to come to him.
There's a base hit by Ghost, so he's probably going to be running very quickly again.
Jeff got that one up, and even though it was off the plate, Ghost had a very good look at it. That ball was a good 4 or 5 inches off the outside corner.
Well, for the most part, he's a slap hitter. And when you get slap hitters, they don't turn the head of the bat over. When guys don't turn the head of the bat over, they usually make contact. It doesn't have to be a strike.
His game is purely speed. He is the table setter. He knows that. And when he gets on, especially leading off the ball game, it's tough to stop him from scoring.
Well, Mark Parent, our terrific bench coach, had him either managed him, I think he managed him, or managed against him, and said that this guy is some kind of competitor, Ghost, and a winner.
When you give up a talent like Devin Travis, you know he's got to be a pretty good player.
Long set. Too much time for Kinsler.
Because Travis was the #1 prospect in this Tiger organization, and he's gone north of the border to the Blue Jays and started off his rookie season in most impressive fashion.
In reality, he's been the most impressive rookie in baseball.
At this point, yes.
Chops that one foul. Kinsler 1 for 2 with that RBI single.
(0-1) normally is not a good pitch to run because it's very easy to call a pitch out, and the worst case scenario is you're even with the hitter. 1-0, a completely different story.
Well, they got a freebie with him anyway, because if he does get thrown out, which is not going to happen probably, then you still got Kinsler leading off the inning, who has hit leadoff a lot of times in his career. That ball hit hard. Stay in the air. Nope. Ghost just flying around second, moves into third. 2 out, runners at the corners.
There's a few really good high ball hitters. This is a breaking ball. Kinsler loves the high fastball. If you get careless with a breaking ball, he's going to hit that awfully hard. And Ghost doesn't even hesitate. He doesn't even think about it. Whether Adam Eaton would have bobbled that ball or not, he was still going to third base as Dave Clark, the third base coach, tells him, stay right here.
Well, certainly with 2 outs, he'd have been doing the same thing with no outs. So here is the man. Takes first pitch strike, right? Bottom of the zone.
This is going to be interesting to see exactly where he stays in this at-bat, because he stayed away from him the first 2 at-bats. He got him to ground into a double play with nobody out in the first inning. Got him to fly out to end the third, but they were all away. And the first 2 pitches here have been away.
And the count 0-2.
That's what he's done with runners in scoring position this year, although just 2 for his last 12.
Well, he can hit the ball out of here. He can put it in those seats in right field, but he's got to hit it hard. He can't flip it into those seats like he does in Detroit.
Not like in Detroit.
Not here tonight. He gone. Big man to strike out. We're halfway home. Leading 5-2. Five hits, no errors for them in the first of 3, in the first of 6 in this homestand. We'll finish it off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Cincinnati Redlegs. So here is Cabrera. He has walked twice, scored once. Takes that pitch with a lot of movement, low and away, ball 1. Nice rip.
Shane Green started this game. He went 2 2/3 innings. Gave up 5 runs on 5 hits. The big column, the 4 walks to go with 1 strikeout. So he came in at 3-1, but he came in with an ERA up close to 5. It will go well over that here tonight.
Kinsler.
Bring your family to the ballpark for Family Sundays, presented by University of Chicago Medicine Comer Children's Hospital. Tickets start as low as $5 and parking is just $10. White Sox and Comer Children's Hospital teaming up for kids' health. Purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/Sundays or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
Here's Abreu. RBI single in the first. He walked and scored in the third. And Chris Sale, you just saw a picture of our big left-hander. Alfredo Simon will be on the bump for the Tigers, and Chris Sale for us tomorrow. If you can't make it to the ballpark, that game will be right here on Comcast Sportsnet. And the finale, Thursday afternoon, Jose Quintana against Kyle Lobstein. And that game will be over WGN, and on tomorrow night's game, it'll be on Comcast Plus.
Here's a look at Jose Quintana, who last time out was absolutely brilliant. Lost that 1-0 game on a wild pitch. Didn't make too many mistakes.
He got it and threw it.
In fact, that was the best game by a wide margin in that entire Minnesota series.
Nine double plays we hit into. Just got a piece of it.
I got a chance in Baltimore to talk with Rick Dempsey, my former catcher and 24-year major leaguer. He said one of the biggest problems with catchers and why they get beat up is that they get too far away from the hitter. There is too much area for a foul ball to come back and get you.
Ball hit hard, sucked up by Castellanos. 2 down.
It's another factor with catchers being far back from the hitter, that you can't steal near as many pitches on outside pitches because the ball's going to move. Many of the times, the ball's going to move off the plate when you catch it. But he's a big proponent in getting just about as close as you can. He said occasionally they're going to tip your glove. Occasionally. But you're going to more than make up for it by not getting beat up near as much and stealing more pitches.
Here's LaRoche. Out of play. He is 0 for 1 with an RBI. He popped the short, and then he walked with the bases loaded. Well, with most of the years that Rick played, the style of hitting was a little different than it is today. Rick Dempsey's as good a catcher as I ever saw. Hit him on the fist, and the count 0-2.
Well, he said another benefit, Hawk, was that the backswing won't hit you in the back of the head.
That's what I was getting at.
He said if you're up close enough, that bat will actually go behind you, not hit you in the back of the head. Sometimes carry him off the throwing shoulder, but usually doesn't get you near as much as if you're back further.
Well, that's why he didn't get hit very much, because he stood right underneath the hitter.
That's true. But we've seen this guy, Alex Avila, get hit an awful lot.
Well, a lot of catchers are going to get hit today with the way the backswing is, and as Rick mentioned, they get back behind the hitter. When I played, it was very, very seldom that you'd see a catcher get hit with a backswing.
You see it all the time now.
Sure you do. See it almost every game. That's low. Full count.
Avi on deck, trying to get that hitting streak to 10 games. He is 0 for 2, but he's driven in a run.
Well, the best catcher that I played against when I was played for the Tigers, Bill Freehand. And it seemed like he was sitting up just behind your right foot, which I was a right-handed hitter, my right foot. And a lot of times I just glanced down and it seemed like he was right there.
He'd steal more pitches, and most likely.
No, I didn't try to steal a pitch.
No. I'm talking about looking back. No, that'd have got you hit in the head.
Oh, yeah.
In those days, if you look back, a lot of catchers would look up at you to see if you were looking back. But I'll tell you one of the things you can do on a bright sunny day, you can take a look for the shadow of the catcher and get a pretty good idea where he's setting up. You don't have to look back. You can pretty much look down or look like you're looking at the first base coach and steal a pitch.
You can get it all the time from an on-deck hitter. Checks it up and takes ball 4. So the 2-out walk.
First walk issued by Wilson, and here is Avisail. Avi 0 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. Yeah, all you wanted to do was know when he was setting up inside if it was a right-handed pitcher out there, and you had a little code, whatever. It might be Ken, or it might be Hawk, or it might be Kenneth, or whatever you decided on. And then you knew it was a fastball. Now, if he didn't say any of that stuff, you knew the ball he was setting up away as he check swing. Five, 6, and 2 for us. 2, 5, and 0 for them. They scored 1 in the first, 1 in the second. We scored 1 in the first and 4 in the third. Jammed himself right there. Pops it up. Anthony goes. And we have completed 5 and lead it by 3. Cavs flip over to CSN for player and coach reaction, highlights, and a whole lot more on Kia Bulls postgame live after every Chicago basketball playoff game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, and Yoenis Cespedes. Fouls that one back.
There's a young man enjoying a little something from the concession stands on a very cool evening in Chicago. It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. Temperatures are going to rise into the low 70s. Not so this evening, however.
Pretty good pitch, didn't get it. 21 to count. Fouls it back just below us. Whoa. Slips. 2-2. Schiff's got him.
And for Jose, a good job of recognizing exactly what the defense was and who was there to make the play. Connor Gillespie was out there. So Jose started to his right, then realized that they were in the extreme shift. And he went back to the bag. Good recognition.
Runners have to check the outfielders. Pitchers have to check their infielders, especially up the middle. And infielders, especially at first and third, have to check who's playing beside them and where they're playing.
Then you'll know how far you can stray.
Plus, it keeps you in the ball game. It's just that it's easy. Some guys get in that trap when they're not swinging the bats well, like we have not been swinging the bats well. That you take that at bat out to the field with you. And that's one reason we haven't been playing real good defense, is because of the fact it's pretty apparent some of our hitters have been taking that at bat out to the field. And if you do that, it's not going to work. But then you had guys like Lou Piniella. Lou Piniella be out there in right field,
taking his swings in the outfield,
practicing the stance and practicing his move into the pitch.
He is a dandy, Uncle Lou.
He did it on a consistent basis.
Lou was a dandy. I'll tell you, that man could really hit. Made his mark in the game. He was a GM. He was a terrific manager. Won 116 games one year with Seattle. Still an all-time record. Lou could do it.
Well, on that Yankee team, as a lot of our older White Sox fans have heard me say for many years, in the 70s when they were really good, when you got to the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, you didn't worry about Reggie. You worried about Thurman Munson and Lou Piniella. Those were the two guys that would beat you.
Being the fact that I threw to Thurman in college and he was my roommate on the road, I looked up one of his seasons specifically. He went to bat over 630 times. I believe he struck out 38 times. That's it. You could not strike him out with the game on the line. That was a given.
Well, of that 38 times, you had to assume that maybe half those times, with that record that he had in the eye he had, the umpire missed the call.
Yeah, Thurman had great hand-eye coordination, was just an outstanding hitter, an underrated catcher, and the leader of that ball club.
He gone. Two down.
JD is having some problems. This is high heat, just throws it right by him. Jeff got on top in a strikeout situation, threw that fastball at the very top of the zone. And as you can see, a good comeback after a shaky start early. Now he's got everything working for him.
Cespedes has struck out and he has walked.
I shorted Thurman some plate appearances that year in 1976. 665 plate appearances, 38 strikeouts. Yeah. In this day and age, you strike out 35 times, you're just heading into May.
Well, that means that the umpires missed 2/3 of those calls.
It's real early in the season for you. At the 38 mark.
I'll tell you, it was, I'm sure you experienced the same. You play with some guys that after a game when you had lost, as that's popped up in the right center field, Ivy makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th, leading 5-2.
2 for 2 with a big triple in the third inning. He took a slider, drove it into the gap, and 2 runs driven home, giving him 6 for the year. That was a big factor in his 5-2 game.
Alex Wilson came home back in the third. Now they put the shift on for Connor as Castellanos goes out there from third base into short right field. And checking some other scores for you. Boston shut out Tampa Bay 2-0. Porcello 3-2 the winner. Smiley 0-1 the loser. Atlanta shuts out the Phillies 9-0 down in Georgia. Miller over Billingsley. Miller 4-1 with a 1.66 ERA through a 3-hitter. Ouch. Mets beat Baltimore 3-2. Bartolo Colon 5-1.
How about Colon with a 2.90 ERA? Throws still 80 to 85% fastballs. Is not overpowering, but nobody can hit him.
He can work the baseball as well as anybody you'll ever see.
Really been a remarkable resurgence for him. And the Mets team is 17-10. Bartolo is one of the leaders on that team, and a lot of people thought the Mets would be okay. Their pitching has been unbelievably good.
Yankees beat Toronto 6-3. Pineda over Estrada as that pitch misses. Cincinnati over Pittsburgh 7-1.
Cincinnati now at 500, and they're coming to town following these Tigers. They've got a couple of guys on that team that can hit the baseball.
Texas leading Houston 7-1, bottom of the 6th down at the juice box. Jeff's got a piece of that one. After 6 in Milwaukee, 3-1 Dodgers. Bottom of the 8th in Washington, 2-1 Miami. Bottom of the 7th at Target Field, 2-0 Oakland. Kansas City leading Cleveland 4-3. Top of the 8th at Kauffman Stadium. And right here, it's 5-2 good guys. Bottom of the 6th.
Bullpen up and going for Detroit, as Wilson has done a really good job of keeping things right where he found them.
Well, he's worked 2 1/3, giving up 1 hit, 1 walk. Put a good pass on that one underneath it. So Romine comes on, makes the catch.
Well, he made a stab at that and almost missed it at the last instant. In the shift, Romine had a long way to go on what normally is the third baseman's ball. He came and got it. And pretty happy he did as he looks in the glove to see if it stuck.
Well, Romine is a good all-purpose infield. Alexei pulling off the ball. He struck out twice tonight. Softly hit.
Join us on Friday, May 8th for Back to the Future Night, celebrating the 30th anniversary of the hit film. Visit the DeLorean Time Machine and experience a post-game fireworks show set to the Back to the Future soundtrack presented by UI Health. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/promos.
Here's Soto. It's grounded to third and singled. Has the only hit off Wilson.
That was on a slider away.
Good piece of woodwork.
He just reached out, didn't try to do too much, hit it where it was pitched.
Well, with your real good hitters, like in Cabrera, you'll notice the change of speeds in his swing. And the change of speeds in his swing is dictated by the location. And when he gets one that's not in his sweet spot, so to speak, he doesn't try to do too much with it, especially with 2 strikes. There's a shot. Get down. Look at Ghost.
What a play by Ghost, but he didn't get it.
They say he trapped it. Ghost is saying he caught it.
He's saying he caught it. Manny Gonzalez has said he's safe.
Well, it looked from up here like he caught it. So, but Gonzalez is closer.
Well, we'll have to see exactly what they're going to review for Brad Ausmus. Ghost is still contending he caught the ball. It's a sinking line drive. Anthony came on, and
Paul Schreiber, he went out and looked at it. Let's see here. Now we'll get a shot. He caught it.
It looked like he caught the ball.
Yeah.
It looked like it never hit the grass.
That's what it looked like. I hope they don't overrule it for Giovanni's sake.
Yeah, just in case.
Either way, it was
Giovanni's
a heck of
staying
a play by Ghost.
He's standing at first base. Ghost did a good job of breaking straight in. And it looked like he was able to take it right off the top of the grass, secure it in the glove without it bouncing. But we'll see the angle they had. This is super slow-mo. From that angle, it looked like he had the glove beneath the baseball. And indeed he did.
All right, so that'll retire the side. We're into the 7th, leading 5-2.
White Sox players: Jose Abreu, Carlton Fisk, Chris Sale, Paul Konerko, and more in weekly online auctions. Visit whitesox.com/auctions to start bidding.
5-2 Sox on top of the 7th inning. It'll be the lower third of their order: Avila, Castellanos, and Romine. Now they put the shift on with Gordon Beckham in at third base. So Micah's out there in short right field. Right at the bottom. And a reminder, once again, make your plans to be with us tomorrow night. Chris Sale. And of course, you can sit down in that K-zone. Get that T-shirt. Placard. One and one to count.
Very good matchup as Simon is 4-1. Chris Sale, #1 pitcher on this team. So the second game in the series should be a dandy.
That's low. 2-1 to count. Alfredo Simon or Alfredo Simon. 4-1 with a 3.13. And there's a base hit right back through the middle. So leadoff man aboard. Sixth hit given up by Jeff. So the hits are even at 6 apiece, but we have a 5-2 lead.
And the oddity is 3 players have all the hits. Ghost has 2 for 3. Kinsler is 2 for 3. And Avila is 2 for 3. Nobody else has gotten a base hit.
Castellanos has reached on an error and fly deep to right center.
Sox bullpen up and going for the first time. Jeff is at the 95 pitch mark, and it's Dan Jennings throwing in the pen.
Pretty good pitch, didn't get it. That pitch has been called all night for the most part. Not there. 1-1 to count.
Castellanos has grounded into a couple of double plays this year.
With his hitting zone, if he goes outside of his hitting zone, he can get some ground balls. But generally speaking, when he gets a pitch in his hitting zone, he's going to put it in the air.
Last one was the best slider Jeff has thrown. Let's see if we can follow it up with another one.
Well, he let it work for him. A nice block by Soto. Sale tomorrow night. Quintana on Thursday afternoon. He gone. Gas.
That was a fastball on the outside corner. He went in one time and then stayed away to finally wipe him out. He got him thinking about sliders. He threw back-to-back sliders before he went to the fastball, and he couldn't catch up with it.
Well, that's a work over there.
Yeah, that was a good job of setting up a hitter before you wipe him out.
He just worked him over. That's when you got to tip your cap and handle that strikeout. Certain days a pitcher's going to be better than you, and certain at bats he's going to be better than you.
And strikeout number 6 to go with just one lone walk.
So here is Andrew Romine. Hit into a 4-6 fielder's choice that Micah Johnson and both Alexei made a good play on. And he also was grounded to first. Has a little soft hit into center field. Jammed him and just flips it out there. So 2 on. And 1 out.
This fastball was on the inner third. Romine doesn't get a whole lot of it, but enough to flare it into center field.
And here comes Robin.
Ghost is 2 for 3 against Samardzija. He's going to want to use the left-handed Jennings to try to neutralize Ghost, but this could mean Rajai Davis is coming in.
Well, Rajai Davis has always hurt us, but the point is that Ghost reminds me a lot of Kansas City's Jared Dyson, only he's a better player.
He is a better player.
Yeah.
But they're both speed burners, and Robin likes what he heard from Samardzija.
That's one reason I love Samardzija.
He's not going to say that he's tired and that he wants to come out.
He wants to compete. That's what he wants to do. He wants to compete. That's what good pitchers do. Like Chris Sale, he wants to compete. And Chris, again, just tuning out there, will be on the bump tomorrow night. So here's Ghost.
Well, it won't be Jennings now, because after Ghost is a right-handed Kinsler and Cabrera. That's why Petrichka is loosening up.
Fouls that one away. One out, two on. Top of the seventh. One thing about this Tiger club, as we talked earlier, might be the best offensive team in baseball. And they can touch you up in a hurry. Tried to backdoor him, he missed. Good pitch. And the count 1-2. Got it in on him.
He tried to get his hands out. This ball is not on the corner. It drifts back over the plate, but a little too much on it for Ghost to catch up.
He gone. Gas at 94 on his 105th pitch.
After the first pitch, the entire at bat was spent up in the zone. He knew if he got it up there, he could throw it by him. And for the second time tonight, Ghost goes down on strikes. He's tardy on that high fastball. And Jeff just reached back. And whatever he's got left, he was going to show it to Ghost there.
Here's a tough customer at the plate. Kinsler. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Watch out. Hit him. Knocked him. They got him in the arm. Hopefully he'll be all right. Meanwhile, the inning is over. Let's take another look. That was a line shot. And you can see that grimace on his face. Okay. All right. We'll be back.
All right, let's see. Bottom of the 7th.
Lane Hardy coming in the ball game. So he takes over for Wilson, who did a terrific job in relief of Green, and there's a good bunt. Hardy's got it and pours it across to get it. So a good idea. But unfortunately, that one too close to Hardy. And between innings, Jeff Samardzija is showing Herm Schneider that he got it on the outside of his pitching hand. He's in some pain. He was able to make the play, get out of the inning, kept the lead intact, but they're going to take him in the locker room and take a look at it.
They're going to x-ray him, right?
Yeah, I would certainly think so.
So here is Adam Eaton. 1 for 3.
Lane Hardy on for the 8th time. An ERA and even 6. 5 walks in 9 innings, and that's not good.
Sox lead at 5-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Yeah, that was a bullet off the bat of Ian Kinsler, who can hit the ball hard. 2-1.
Alex Wilson was absolutely brilliant in relief. Went 3 1/3. Didn't give up any runs. Gave up just 1 hit. Walked 1. Fanned 1. And kept the ball game exactly where he found it. At 5-2.
Breaking ball. Kinsler. 2 down.
Angel Nesbitt, we saw him in Detroit. He's loosening in the pen.
So here's Melky. He's 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a run scored. Change up.
And Zach Duke loosening in the pen. He will undoubtedly come into this one. At least it appears so.
That's into right field. J.D. Martinez. So 1, 2, 3 inning, and we're into the 8th. Pre-game set between our Sox and their Tigers. It all starts at 6:30 with White Sox pregame live presented by Alexis of Orland and Maryville on CSN Plus.
Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And a big out in this game with 2 on and 2 out. Miguel Cabrera comes up, and Jeff Samardzija gets him to ground into a double play. And in the 5th, in a big spot, he struck him out on some high heat away. Cabrera 0 for 3 against Samardzija, who departs this game after 7 innings, gives up a couple of runs on 7 hits, and gives way to Zach Duke, who comes into the game with the 3-run lead, but he's got to go through the heart of the order. And Duke on for the 12th time, his ERA a very fine 1.69.
Cabrera 0 for 3. Takes first pitch, strike. Well, Jeff Samardzija, big man with big stones.
He did a terrific job. It started out very shaky in the first inning, but he got the double play ground ball off the bat of Cabrera. He got in some jams and got out of it.
That's what good pitchers do. You know that. You were a good pitcher.
Well,
you make good pitches when you have to.
He's got 2 gems against a very tough offense in Detroit. He threw exceptionally well in Detroit, limiting them to 1 run in 8 innings, and followed it up right here when his team desperately needed a good performance. And Jeff Samardzija gave it to him.
Yeah, win, lose, or draw this game, we needed a good performance from Jeff, and he knew that. So here is Victor Martinez, who was 0 for 3 tonight. Anytime you hold Cabrera and Victor Martinez, now 0 for 7 between them, you got a shot.
Victor's been better from the right side, at least as far as pain is concerned. He's hitting .421 as a right-hand hitter. He came in hitting .143 as a lefty.
Pretty good pitch. Didn't get it. That part of the zone. Two down. And that'll bring up J.D. Martinez, who's very glad to see Samardzija out of there.
J.D. didn't pick up much of anything. He hit the ball okay the first time up and then struck out swinging the next 2. But he was not following Jeff Samardzija at all tonight.
Well, we have seen Jeff against us, and I've seen him on television, and I've seen him on. I love it when he pitches fastballs up and breaking balls down.
Well, he had a pretty good feel for the slider tonight, something he hasn't been doing a great deal of lately.
He stayed on top of it.
Yeah, and that's certainly, and he changed speeds a couple times with it. And that's the key if you're having trouble with a pitch. You don't have to throw them all the same speed. And we saw some really good sliders today, 83, 84. And they were in a good spot. They were low and away to the right-handers.
Strike on the corner. So 1-2 the count. Here you go. 1-2-3 inning for the Zach Meister. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th.
3.12 ERA, on for the 9th time. As you can see, pretty good control. Right-handers haven't touched him at all. 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, and 8 2/3. He takes over from Hardy. Nesbitt is the 4th Tiger pitcher of the night.
Here's Abreu. 1 for 2. RBI single in the first. A walk and a run scored in the third, and he grounded hard to third in the 5th.
We're going to show you how that inning ended with J.D. Martinez and Zach Duke.
That's low and inside.
You got to be ready to hit. Zach Duke is out there realizing that Martinez probably not quite as ready as he would be, so he sees him in the box and then just changes his motion, throws the slider, and some would call it a quick pitch. Others would say it's a nice way to get out of the inning.
Well, it's that too, but it's more than a quick pitch. It's more just changing your motion. He didn't with nobody on. You don't have to come to a set.
No, you don't. Just get it and throw it.
Ask Jim Cott if he could quick pitch anybody. Former Sox left-hander, former Minnesota Twin left-hander.
Well, when he came over to the White Sox, he threw as quickly as anybody maybe ever has, because he spread out and pretty much threw from that motion without bringing his leg back. His hands never moved. It was one of the most unique situations I've ever seen. It was Johnny Sain's suggestion, and
well, it got him a few more years in the big leagues, because I hit a lot against Cott.
And some good ones.
He never used that motion.
No.
When I was playing against him, it's out of play, right side.
But he used it here, and it was very effective.
Well, the name of the game is adjusting in baseball. And sometimes from pitch to pitch, sometimes from at-bat to at-bat, sometimes from week to week.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, Jim had overwhelming stuff when he was a very good pitcher and one of the great fielders of all time. But his stuff was wonderful when he was with the Twins.
He won 25 games.
I was going to say, the stuff wasn't near as good when he got to the White Sox, but he made up for it.
He adjusted. He changed. Three and two the count. Took a little something off the breaking ball. So 1 out.
You remember Nesbitt from his stint in Detroit. And he's got a very good fastball. But if you can throw that curve where he threw it to Jose, he's going to get a whole lot of the right-hand hitters.
Here's Adam. Takes first pitch strike. In the left field. Cespedes. 2 down.
Join the free WhiteSox.com blacklist for exclusive White Sox content all year long, including news and video updates, their ticket offers, breaking alerts, and much more. Visit WhiteSox.com/blacklist to register today.
Here's Avi. He's 0 for 3, but he does have an RBI, and he has scored a run. Just tuning in, Tigers 1 in the first, 1 in the second. We scored 1 in the first and 4 in the third. Samardzija was just outstanding. Shutting down Cabrera, Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, Cespedes.
He went 7. Gave up just the 2 runs and gave them up in the first and second inning, and then put 5 goose eggs on the board before giving way to Zach Duke.
Romine on the move. Nice play. Nice play by Andrew Romine, and we're into the 9th.
.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected with the MLB.com game of the day and game highlights, live look-ins, replay previews, radio broadcasts, and much more. New features include StatCast tracking videos and a bilingual access for Spanish-speaking fans. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. And David Robertson comes in search of save number 4. He's on for the 10th time. Has yet to give up a run. 18 strikeouts, 1 lone walk in 9 innings.
So here's Yoenis. Cespedes struck out, walked, and went out to right. Outfield straight up, spread out about equidistant. And there's first pitch strike. 5-6-2 for us, 2-7-0 for them in game 1 of this 3-game set. Big rip. This guy's got some bad speed. Wow.
He is one strong man, and this being the final year of his contract, Detroit probably would like to work something out with him, but he originally signed his 4-year deal with the Oakland team knowing that he would still be a relatively young man when he was going to come up for free agency, so you have to figure he probably will be testing the waters.
Well, he actually has better bat speed than Cabrera. That ball hit hard. Micah, get him. Dead gummy. So the arrow.
He had some time. He couldn't set his feet and didn't as he threw wide of the bag.
So that'll bring up Alex Avila as you take another look at it.
Feet got tangled after he knocked the ball down. Still had a shot, but threw wide of the bag.
Avila homered in the second. Lined hard into the shift in the 4th and singled hard to center in the 7th. Takes first pitch strike. But Cespedes, you might say, well, if he's got more bat speed than Cabrera, Why doesn't he hit as well as he does? Because the recognition factor. I don't think anybody recognizes a pitch quicker than Miguel Cabrera.
Now his adjustments, pitch to pitch, at bat to at bat, are, if not the best in baseball, they're in the top 2.
Well, he's one of the smartest hitters you'll ever see. He just got beat tonight by a guy, Samardzija, who was better than he was tonight. Goes to second, return throw.
That was a good aggressive play by the big man at first base.
Well, I'd rather seen him just take the out at first in a 5-2 ball game like this, because you got a chance to throw it away.
Yeah, no, but he trusts his arm.
Well, he did, and he got him.
And this is a tough hop. It was not only a short hop, but it was actually moving toward the bag and away from him with all the spin on it.
Yes, it was. But in a situation, you got situational hitting, you also have situational defense.
You do.
So here's Castellanos. Good pitch, didn't get it. Castellanos has reached on an arrow. Fly deep to right center and struck out. 3 errors we made tonight. Samardzija pitched over 2 of them. That's high into right field. Should be a can of corn. 2 down.
Rajai Davis is coming out to pinch hit. And he represents the last Tiger hope against one of the best closers in all of baseball.
And against us, Rajai Davis is one of the good players in this league, because he kills us. He's faced David 9 times, has 3 hits. Souvenir right side. To the count.
You see very few guys consistently overpowered with a 92 or 3 mile an hour fastball, but that's a deception of David Robertson. Pretty tough to tell why it happens. It just does. He throws that fastball by a whole lot of guys with much less velocity than the real big fastball guys in the league.
Well, if you can answer that, you can answer a lot of questions. Ball gets away. So Avila in the second. Maybe a wild pitch. One and 2 with 2 gone here in the top of the 9th. Line drive in this ball game, and this 5-game losing streak is over. Yes. A great performance by Jeff Samardzija, and the bullpen was just sterling.